1,000 Law Enforcement Advancement Plan, or LEAP, officers have been deployed across the city of Cape Town. The city says the program has seen positive results in places like Nyanga, Kraaifontein and Khayelitsha. But there has been criticism that some areas have been forgotten. Nobesuthu Hechana following that story for us on the ground in Cape Town. She's joining us now live from our studios in Cape Town. Good afternoon, Nobesuthu. Welcome to today. Thank you very much for your time. Just give us some key points of what came out of today's activity.
Well, Braden, we do know that a huge budget has been set aside by the City of Cape Town as well as the provincial government for this particular project. When we spoke to the City of Cape Town Mayor, Mr. Jordan Hill-Lewis, earlier, he did say that there will be money spent in training neighborhood watchers as well as drones and investment in CCTV cameras across the city to ensure that the LEAP officers, they're able to do their job. But we also spoke to the Premier earlier, who was telling us that the province is still fighting for the devolution of police powers, where they were saying that they want to use the successes of the LEAP officers' work to argue for the province to have total control of police, and saying that it's something that they've been able to do during the lockdown period, where they would know which areas are hotspots and which people where they've tested positive. So he's saying that this is a great opportunity for the national government to actually look into the city or the provincial plan when it comes to the safety and security. But the City of Cape Town's MACO member for safety and security, JP Smith, saying that over the years or over the time where they've had these LEAP officers working, they've seen great successes. But the mayor also saying that although he understands that there are areas like Khayelitsha and Gugulethu which have seen quite a number of mass shootings over the years or the past few months, but he's saying that they're working hard to ensure that their officers are deployed in those areas so that they can fight crime. But let's take a listen to Mr. JP Smith about some of the successes by the LEAP officers.
Law enforcement officers here this morning who represent the bigger cohort of 1,100 officers who are currently deployed in the city and are removing firearms and drugs from our streets as we speak. We wanted to show you who the people are that are out on the streets every day making a difference to our safety. They stand here before you. Since the first LEAP officers were deployed in February 2020 till the end of July 2022, our LEAP officers have made 8,495 arrests, confiscated 222 illegal firearms, and over 21,000 units of drugs and illegally sold alcohol. Some of the LEAP areas have seen their crime stats reduced enough to no longer hold the dreaded positions on crime stat reports that they used to. There is proof that LEAP's hard work is paying off, and they are leaping forward in the right direction. Mainly, though, it means residents can live and work more safely in those areas. Businesses can operate, jobs can be created, and community life and recreation can take place. Our wish is for every resident to have the opportunities and quality of life that we each wish for our own family.
And the Bishop Lavis community, what are they saying about these new recruits?
So the Bishop Lavis Community Policing Forum chairperson, Mr. Graham Lyndhurst, is saying that the City of Cape Town as well as the province, they were quite disappointed with how they've handled this particular launch, because none of the members from the area were invited, and saying that the city as well as the province with the LEAP officers will have to have a relationship with the community members, because they can't do the work on their own. So Mr. Lyndhurst saying that they were not invited, so it's not right that the community members or the people from the area are not part of this particular project. So this is what he had to say about some of their frustrations and him being disappointed at the fact that the City of Cape Town as well as the province decided to sideline some of the Bishop Lavis members, as those particular officers, some of them will be deployed in that area.
The community of Bishop Lavis was not informed nor invited to the launch. It is typical of the City of Cape Town, where they would come into communities without the knowledge of the communities and do things for the communities without the communities. We, as a CPF, is of the view that you cannot do anything for any community unless you involve that community. I cannot understand why the MEC as well as the mayor would come into the area without acknowledging the community. How do they expect to change the situation of crime in this area? There's so much crime in the area, and for them to think that they can do it with the LEAP officers is something that will not really happen. You need an integrated approach. We already, yesterday, we had already extortion of a contractor that came in to do renovations, and we as a CPF had to intervene because they were stopped by those extortionists and they could not continue. Today, luckily, they're able to continue because we intervened and because those contractors came to us as a CPF and SAPS. And that's the sort of integration you need, where people acknowledge that the community, together with law enforcement, can make the change. Otherwise, you will not see the change. Those officers, even for them to be successful, you need the community. You need the intake of the community. You need the community to buy into it. You need the community to be in a position to give information and all of that.